Yo, 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 what's up, everyone? This isn't horror, but this is interesting, man. I've been playing around with the hip hop in Hollywood, and what happens, behind the scenes. And I saw this, and I'm like, this is interesting. Let's hop right in.
All as well. Thank you for joining me for this Truth Talk episode. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the strangest, most mysterious deaths in the music industry. But before we begin, just a quick reminder to subscribe to the second channel, Truth Network, so you don't miss any new content. We just recently dropped a new device. Rarely do we see instances of a person passing away and the cause being a mystery. I mean, it does happen, but not as often as usual. After an autopsy, the cause of a person's passing is usually revealed. But what happens in situations where the autopsy doesn't reveal the truth of what happened? For some reason, this tends to happen often within the music industry, with several famous artists passing away mysteriously, leaving fans simply wondering what really happened to their favorite artists. In today's episode, we will be looking at a few examples of artists whose deaths are shrouded in mystery, and I'll give my thoughts on what I believe really happened to them. The first artist we're going to be talking about is Speaker Knockerz. For those who don't know, Speaker Knockerz was a 19-year-old rising rapper who was born in New York City. He was starting to see viral success with his music before his passing in his South Carolina home in 2014. He was known for his song Rico Story alongside You Mad and Lonely. Speaker Knockerz was starting to prove himself as a promising artist. He was also known as a producer making beats for rappers like French Montana, Gucci Mane, and Shy Glizzy. Speaker Knockerz started making beats at home at just 16 years old. His father, who was incarcerated for 10 years, has started helping him with his music once he got out of prison. In no time, Speaker Knockerz was not only working with big artists, he was starting to become one himself. At 19, with multiple viral songs and a list of producer credits, it seemed everything was going great for the young artist. This is when things took an unexpected turn. On May 6, 2014, after family and friends repeatedly tried to contact Speaker Knockerz since the day prior with no success, his body would be found in the garage of his South Carolina home. The day prior, he was celebrating his father's birthday with his father and brother when around 11 p.m., he dropped them off, telling his father he would be back later on. When he didn't come back that night or return his parents' phone calls, they began to get worried. Things got even stranger when he missed his recording studio session and also missed an important business meeting he had planned the following day. His mother called the police in hopes of them locating her son, but Speaker Knockerz was already gone in his garage. His family and fans were shocked and left with so many questions, with the most important one being what happened to the young rapper. To this day, the family hasn't revealed this cause of death, remaining a mystery for over 9 years. It was speculated that Speaker Knockerz had developed an addiction.
Look at the hand, yo. He's drinking lean. You already know. Why is, bruh, medicine, really? You sipping on medicine? That shit is wild.
And his substance use is what caused his passing, but this was never proven. It was also speculated that he passed from natural causes, claiming that he just had a heart attack out of nowhere, which honestly doesn't happen that often to a 19-year-old. This theory was also unconfirmed. Speaker Knockerz's mother recently did an interview on the Drea O Show where she briefly touched on her son's passing. She claimed that the rumors of her son passing were all false, stating that his passing had nothing to do with substances or a heart attack.
When they did their search, according to reports, they ended up finding him in the garage. When they called you and let you know what was going on, what was going through your head?
Well, when they called me, I don't know. I just couldn't believe it, but it just was really rough. But to be honest, like, I really don't like to talk about that portion of, Derek's life just yet, about his death. I really don't, anything else I don't mind, but just that, like, it's a little rough because it's just hard. And then I just don't, know that his dad or his brother wants me to talk about that this time. But I will tell you that, I've learned a lot, listening to and reading some of the things that people say. And it's like whatever they put out on the media, that people believe it. And then when I see some things that they say, it's not true at all. Like 95% of the things that they say is not true. My son did not die of any type of substance or anything like that. And he did not have a heart attack. But I just, want to clear that up. That's not what happened to him. And when I see things like that, so that's why when I see things in the media now, I don't even believe it until I know for sure that it's a reliable source, because people just put things out there and just because it sounds good or it's negative, they believe it.
As you heard for yourself, she denied all the rumors about her son's passing being spread all over the internet. Even though she didn't elaborate on what happened to him, she stated that what is being said is false. Yet, she's not comfortable
But
talking
why,
about what
though?
really happened.
He was blown up
9
or
years
something?
later,
Like,
his
how?
fans are still asking what really
What's going
happened to
on?
Speaker Knockers. I myself, while researching, couldn't really find nothing solid on his passing. Since Speaker Knockers was on the rise and still wasn't a megastar, there wasn't that much information available on him. What I did find was this photo of him where we can see him doing the one eye symbolism. He can
Oh.
also be seen wearing what
There we
appears
go.
to be a
We got
pyramid
something right
chain,
there.
which we know the pyramid also points to the Masonic order. Seeing this caught my attention, and when you add this with all the overnight success he was starting to see, to me, it all points to the Masonic order. We know artists who show Masonic imagery are usually Masonic puppets. We also know that just about all big artists in the industry took the oath, and it was definitely looking like Speaker Knockers was going to be a big artist. Something I found interesting was that Speaker Knockers started seeing success after his father came home and started helping him with music. His father did 10 years in prison and managed to come out and help his son blow up in the music industry. This was interesting to me since his father wasn't a successful artist before going to prison. What I do know is that a lot of people learn a lot about the occult and Freemasonry within prison as they read books about it. So I wouldn't be surprised if Speaker Knocker's father learned
does he
about the
know that?
occult in prison and used it to help his son. When looking into his come-up story, it states his father played the role in crafting his music and beats. Speaker Knockers had collaborated with big artists before he had any fame, which to me is a big red flag. These details always tells us there's more going on behind the scenes. As of right now, it appears due to Joey Badass.
Yeah, this
Back
was
in
like a reach.
2012, he comes off strange to me. Now, I'm not accusing the parents of being the ones that took Speaker Knockers out, but I am saying that we never know. The next artist we're going to be talking about is Capital Steez. Capital
was
Steez was a
interesting.
19-year-old rapper from Brooklyn, New York, a part of the
Pro Era.
collective Pro Era that is famous due to Joey
used to rock with
Badass.
them.
Back in 2012, he was on the rise with his fellow Pro Era members, dropping popular songs like Free the Robots and Survival Tactics. Capital Steez started rapping as a teen, dropping his first project, The Yellow Tape, with his close friend Jack the Rhymer. In 2011, Capital Steez and a producer friend of his named Powers Pleasant created the rap group Pro Era. Joey Badass and other members joined instantly as they were all friends. On February 23, 2012, Capital Steez and Joey Badass would release their viral song called Survival Tactics. This song took off, receiving plenty of love from the hip-hop blogs, jump-starting their rap careers. Steez's career would make it to the next level when in 2012, Pro Era signed a major record deal with Cinematic Music Group, a label under Sony Records. Steez and Joey Badass were gaining
to Golden Gate Bridge and capture some amazing photos.
Oh yeah, definitely.
fans at a rapid pace, proving that the group was going to be a massive success one day. What's crazy about all of this is that the same year that Capital Steez signed a major record deal and was climbing in the industry, it would end up being the same year he would pass away. On December 24th, 2012, on Christmas Eve, Capital Steez did the unthinkable when he ended it all after leaping off the roof of the Cinematic Music Group building in New York City. The building belonged to the same record label they had signed earlier that year to. According to reports, sometime during the later hours of December 23rd, Capital Steez
Yo, that's crazy, yo. I mean, look, like, you know, on some real shit, like, I be having issues and I have hit the ground, like, honestly, like, yo, it's been hard. And then, like, you know, I would hate if, like, if you had that sort of heavy heart, this sort of feeling. But man, a freaking hop off a building is beyond me. That's crazy. Damn, man. R.I.P.
made his way to the top of the Cinematic Music Group building in New York City. While up there, he sent a text message to a loved one that read, "I love you." Then at exactly 11:59 p.m., he tweeted the end from his Twitter. Not long after that tweet, he made the leap from the top of the building. He was later found on the floor clutching a Bible. His family, friends, and fans were shocked to say the least, as no one was expecting this to happen. Why would a young rapper who was on his way to becoming a millionaire end it all the same year he signed a major record deal? It didn't seem to make any sense to anyone. The main theory that people seem to believe was that Capital Steez took himself out because of Joey Badass. They believed that Steez was jealous of all the success Joey Badass was getting. See, when Pro Era signed to Cinematic Music Group, the label chose to make Joey Badass the frontman of the group, even though it was started by Steez. The label, for whatever reason, wanted to push Joey Badass's music the most out of the group, making him the unofficial leader. Joey Badass would get free clothes and also get interviewed way more than Capital Steez, all while Capital Steez was being pushed to the background. Things only got worse when the record label decided to promote the group's upcoming tour by calling it Joey Badass and Pro Era. This made Steez furious, as Joey was getting all the recognition he felt he deserved. According to some sources online, Steez told the Pro Era members that he would be ending it all by leaping off the Capitol building the day before he did it. The very next day, he did exactly what he said he was going to do. I myself actually don't buy this theory at all, as what I believe happened to Steez is much more sinister than what is told. See, after looking into Capital Steez, I quickly learned that he was an occultist, and at the young age of 19, he was already practicing ritual magic. See, Capital Steez believed himself to be an indigo child. Indigo children are supposed to possess special, unusual, and sometimes supernatural abilities. He believed that he was a chosen one and believed he was smarter than everyone else in the world. He also believed he was sent to save the world, as he was convinced the world would end in 2047. Steez was obsessed with the number 47, as he thought it was the ultimate number of the world, believing it held the keys to the answers of life. He tweeted in 2012, they predicted that an alchemist would rise with the key to world peace. I think it's me. Openly, Steez was telling the people exactly who he worships, and no one knew. Alchemists are those who practice alchemy, which is a form of occult magic. He also spoke about 2012, which is important. Remember when back before 2012, people believed the world was going to end on 2012? Well, this was all about the end of the last Aeon and the start of the new one, which is the New Age. In 2012, the New Age started, or the Aeon of Horus. It was even announced in the 2012 massive hit song Radioactive. In that song, they repeatedly mentioned the apocalypse and welcoming the New Age. 2012 was the start of the New Age, which the occultist Aleister Crowley and his followers have been waiting for years. This Aeon or age was supposed to bring death to the Abrahamic religions like Christianity and bring forth a new religion of spiritual enlightenment where the people are their own gods. If you take a look around, what Crowley prophesies is sadly happening as people are abandoning God to worship themselves. Steez believed he was chosen just like Aleister Crowley, and he believed that he needed to pass in order to be reborn and save the world in 2047. Something that very few people know about Steez was that he was a worshiper of the goat demon Baphomet. The reason I know this is because he has several pictures where he can be spotted wearing a Baphomet shirt. In this picture, he even has Salve written on his arm. Salve Coagla is actually tattooed on Baphomet's forearm, the same place Steez is showing it. If you watch this channel often, you should know what Baphomet is and how the Masons are connected to it. So many celebrities show love to Baphomet because it's the demon they worship. Capital Steez even tweeted out that he himself was Baphomet. It's obvious Steez was an occultist who took the oath, and I am confident his passing is related to his occult practices. Steez technically passed away on December 23rd, 2012. His passing is listed as the 24th because he was found after 12 a.m., which would have made it the next day. But Steez wanted it to be on the 23rd because the date was 12/23/12, which when added up equals to 47, the same number he was obsessed with. It's apparent to me that Steez had gotten himself into something he couldn't handle. Still to this day, no one knows why Steez decided to do it, and I'm pretty sure we will never truly find out. The next artist we're going to be talking about is ODB. ODB was a 35-year-old rapper or part of the rap group the Wu-Tang Clan. In the 90s, ODB became a megastar, rising with the most legendary rap group to ever exist. ODB is looked at as one of the most influential rappers to ever live, as his flow and delivery influences rappers to this day. Even though he was a star, his life and career were shrouded in problems. During his peak, he had been arrested several times, but in 2004, he was getting back to what made him a star.
Yo, he look chill. Rest in peace.
On November 13, 2004, ODB was at 36 Chamber Studios, a recording studio owned by RZA. While there, out of nowhere, ODB collapsed and was unconscious. When medics arrived, he was pronounced gone at the scene. After the autopsy report came in, it was discovered that the cause of his passing was substance related. Many of his fans, though sad, weren't so surprised, as ODB was known for his substance use. Even though his passing doesn't seem like much of a mystery, to me it is. Don't get me wrong, I know people pass away due to substance issues often, and it's one of the leading causes. However, when you start seeing so many famous celebrities going out the exact same way, it makes you start to question things. Especially when ODB was known to speak too much, exposing things he wasn't supposed to expose.
Like
Most
what?
people didn't pay much attention to ODB, as they felt he was just a madman ranting and rambling. The thing is, ODB routinely says things that him being in the industry, he shouldn't have said. For example, during a TRL interview, ODB exposed the elite right on television. During this segment of TRL, a fan calls in asking a question about the freedom of the artist regarding if they're allowed to speak their minds. The moment this caller was done asking the question, ODB tried to answer, but the host purposely ignores ODB, making another guest answer. Right before the host was switched to taking a new caller, ODB interrupts the host to answer the question. This is when ODB states that the world is afraid of the government. He also stated that the government took out Tupac and Biggie.
Let's take we have a phone call right now. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hey, what's your name?
Hi, this is Audrey.
Audrey, where you calling from?
Indianapolis.
From Minneapolis. What's your question?
My question is for everyone on the panel.
Yeah.
I just want to say hi to everybody.
Go ahead,
My question
Audrey.
is, do you sometimes feel
Damn,
that you
man,
can't
relax.
always say what you want to say, that you have to be censored?
Is that a problem for anybody? Cannabis, what do you think about that? Cannabis, that's a part of making a record. Because when you go to the studio, I mean, you can write your lyrics, you can
this
say what you
man-
want to say. You may put a sticker on the CD,
Raise his
but
hand
ultimately
and
your fans are
nah,
going to
you-
hear what's
so you're not
really,
gonna
really
answer.
on your mind. To people around you that can support that. We have another call. Hello?
Hold on, man. I gotta say
Wait,
something
hold on.
about
Go,
that.
Jesus.
Since y'all
You
talking
look
about
like
saying
an
what,
asshole, yo.
take all this out my mouth. Let me let y'all know how I feel. To me, it's like everybody's scared of the government.
Would you like to earn 6 figures a year writing for brands that you love? This is Kristen. She earns $140,000 a year writing for brands.
You know what I'm saying? Because they go Tupac, Biggie Smalls. I don't care what y'all say. That's my sin. Who cares? I'm just letting y'all know, y'all can be afraid of the government all y'all want to. I've been afraid of the government for 29 years. Y'all ain't telling me I was Jesus, so it's okay. I love you. Don't, you know, I'm just letting y'all know all that afraid of the government stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's dead in my life, man, because I got special things to put on people.
As you saw for yourself, ODB exposed the industry. We also saw
Ended
how the
up there.
TRL host tried to
Damn.
ignore ODB because they knew he would answer with an unpredictable answer. In another interview, ODB straight up states that the government is trying to get rid of him. He referred to them as the big cats, stating that it was Bush in them.
I wanted to know if you've learned anything new in jail or in jail or any.
Learn trying to kill man. Period.
Yeah, how so?
Government, man. I don't know, G. They on my ass. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to shake these cats. I'm saying these are the big cats. I'm not talking about these because it's President Bush, right?
Uh-oh.
As you heard for
nah.
yourself, ODB seemed worried and made it clear that he felt that they were after him. If you watch my channel, then you should know that Bush is a Masonic
Freemasons.
puppet who's a Freemason and a member of the Yale Secret Society, the Skull and Bones. I believe ODB knew he would be taken out, and that's why he was going around stating this. People just didn't believe him because they thought he was crazy or on substances. But in reality, he was trying to expose the truth, all while, according to him, being hunted. What I
Making
found
sure
interesting
nobody's
is that the
watching him.
Wu-Tang Clan, especially RZA, seems to be occultists and Masonic puppets. In this photo, we can find RZA doing the one-eye symbolism. He also used plenty of Masonic imagery throughout his music career. When looking into ODB's passing, something much darker seems to have happened to him. He passed just 2 days before his 36th birthday while at the 36 Chamber Studios. The debut project that made him a star was 36 Chambers, a project by Wu-Tang. RZA's career only thrived after ODB's passing, while ODB was put to rest.
What's up?
Interestingly,
One
ODB
night
called himself
symbol,
Jesus
man.
in that TRL
Everybody-
interview and often
everybody
called himself Baby Jesus.
is on
We
that.
know Jesus was sacrificed for our sins, and I believe ODB was sacrificed for the Wu-Tang. ODB was unpredictable and uncontrollable, and I believe they wanted him out of the way just like ODB was claiming. I don't think his passing was due to substances he took on purpose. So many artists get taken out this exact same way, which to me always appears suspicious. In my opinion, all these artists we talk about today had deaths that were shrouded in mystery. These
Yo, so look, I'm gonna wrap it up here. It's a wild world, honestly. And if you wanna rap or be in hip hop and whatnot, or like in the music and any genre, be aware. Be aware. It's some shady shit that's happening behind the scenes, and just like, you know, watch your back if that's what you really want. I'm gonna sign out.